Gentlemen, good morning and welcome to the Watchman's Hour. I'm extremely late today because I just cannot get the YouTube working. It's like a dead car. Try to work on it and work on it and work on it and work on it, and it's just getting worse every single time. Anyways, forget about that. We've got a ton of stuff to talk about, and of course I want to answer your questions, and I plan to answer your questions at the end of the stream because I've got a lot of stuff to cover. But whilst I have you, I want you to like and share the live, like and share the living shit out of the live. You know, the last couple of weeks, in the last 1 week, I've been attacked by family members and about, reels that I cut up from either interviews that I've done before or the reels that have been cut up by the producer of the Watchman's Hour, and the stuff that I say is pretty sensational or pretty aggressive and so forth, right? And my whole life I'm being castigated by my own family members. I'm being castigated by my family members about the stuff that I say, right? I'm like, you're constantly taking stuff out of context. It doesn't make any sense. Watch the full interview, and I've been saying that forever. Watch the full interview. The full interview is always posted on my YouTube, always posted on my Instagram. Even if I do a major interview with any news organization, I myself will stream the interview, and the cameras will be facing me and stuff. Now, if the interviewer wants to obviously advertise, right, the large interview that they've published, then the modern day way to do so is to cut up reels. It's the same thing with when authors publish books, right? They'd approach major newspapers and they would publish some teasers in major newspapers and stuff, and that kind of stuff may not be exactly what the book is about, right? But they'll pick out some great stuff. And they will basically try to sensationalize the book and then go from there. You get what I'm saying? So I don't know why I get all this nonsense stuff from me, about me, attacks on me and stuff from family members, maybe even friends, I don't even know. Well, the friend stuff stopped a long time ago. I shed all my friends, you know what I mean? About the questions, the answer that I'm giving to the questions in these cut up reels, right? I mean, the reels are sensational. The reels are there to get views. The reels are there to advertise the larger product, which is the larger video, okay? Judging me without the question being asked, without hearing the question being asked, is just silly. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I cannot apologize to these people who feel hurt, but I'm not speaking about these people specifically. I'm talking about myself. Now, I get to, if I'm asked a question about what did I do when I was 21, when it concerned women, and how I handle things and stuff. If I'm answering, if the reel is just the answer of what I was doing when I was 21 years old, and you're interpreting it what it is now, I mean, I really don't give a shit. I don't give a fuck of how I'm interpreted, because I've told you guys over and over that, and I've said this forever, and I've said this in interviews to everybody, I say this to clients that meet me, I say this to streams, I say this in any sort of situation. I have pledged transparency, right? I have pledged transparency. And I'm just going to stick to that. You're going to ask me a question. I'm not going to give you a lie as an answer, right? You get what I'm saying? I'm not going to give you a lie as an answer. I'm going to give you the truth as an answer. Otherwise, what is the point of hosting a podcast? What is the point of granting someone an interview? What is the point of trying to be in the limelight? What, you make up some bullshit? I mean, it's just nonsense. You mean it's just utter nonsense? You know what I mean? Anyways, for years and years and years, I don't give a fuck about the public judging me on social media, right? You understand what I'm saying? That's irrelevant, right? You mean what goes out there goes out there. But I mean, my own family members or friends or former friends judging me on what they see on my social media is just really, 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 really silly. and stuff. And you know, I can be yelled at. I don't necessarily argue back. I comment back. The YouTube just went live now. It's insane. After like 21 minutes of trying. Goodness me, crazy YouTube. I wonder if anyone could actually test for me that it's working, like Lisa and Danielle. Anyway, so like, you know, I'll try and answer back, and you know, people don't want to hear it because they've already formed their own judgment. You know, I'm too old to argue with people. Okay, I'm too old to argue with people and stuff. And you want to believe what you want to believe. You want to interpret it the way you want to interpret the way you want to interpret it. I'll tell you this, okay? I mentioned this a few weeks ago when in London, when one of the gentlemen was shooting a doc on me. Okay, he said, "How would you like it to be?" Like, and you know, I'm right as right and crazy, and this guy's left as left and white. Okay, I said this a few weeks ago. I said, "Bro, you're the artist. You bring me across however you want to bring me across, okay? I leave the creativity in your hands." Hello, Maximus Gator. Can you see and hear me? Maximus. And if you can, Maximus, say yes. I love you, Danielle. You're so good to me. You really are so good to me. So, I mean, just enjoy the content. And if you don't enjoy the content, switch it off. You know what I mean? Like, I have no interest in human, as it is, I don't go to the comment section, right? But I have no interest in humans coming and telling me this and that. I've spoken about package hate so many fucking times, Jesus Christ. So, you're wasting your time trying to attack me from what you see, okay? Now, let's rewind a little bit, okay? So, this week I've had a really busy week, right? So, Monday I had a client at 10. Tuesday, I believe I did... Monday I had a client at 10, Tuesday I did a live stream with a client. Wednesday I had a client at 10, Thursday, Friday I've done live streams. In my Friday live stream, in the opening, I said, would you like me to, do you like my hair up? Which is how you normally see it, or do you like my hair down? Which is like this today. And I made my hair down with gel day before yesterday on the Friday live stream and stuff. And I got some great comments, but I would like some more from you guys. And today is a very rainy day. It's been raining like a motherfucker for all week and stuff, okay? So I used wax in my hair. I haven't used wax in my hair in a long time, and I've just molded it down, you know what I mean, for the sake of it, to give you the option for you guys to see whether you like my hair up or you like my hair down. You can let me know. If I knew how to do a poll here, then maybe I would add it. Should I try and add a question? No, I don't know how to add a question and stuff. I'm not really good at this stuff anyways. So last week, the hour just flew by. It was the fastest ever, and I never got to answer your questions, you know, and I apologize. And I really hope today that I will be answering your questions. But I have a bunch of notes that I want to go through. And last week, I had so many notes that I did not manage to cover one page of the notes, all right? So this stuff is just notes that are like all over the place, that, you know, maybe at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning or sometime during the day. There's notes on garbage paper in my home. There's notes on garbage paper in my office and stuff. And, you know, I wrote down a note, God knows when, maybe 2 weeks ago, that says, it's not just views, it's responses and dialogue. And I have no idea what the fuck that means anymore. Because if I was writing expansive notes, then I'd just be doing more stuff. You know what I mean? I'm already doing more stuff. So I don't even know what it means. It's not just views. It's responses and dialogue. I have no clue what the fuck I was talking about there or wanted to talk about there. This paper is from about 2 weeks ago, okay? And I never managed to cover it, all right? I said that, another note that I wrote is, even if you hate me and don't recommend me when asked about me, a tailor I should come to mind first. Now listen. Long time ago, before I was viral, before the pandemic, I think that I was going, it wasn't Singapore 16, I think it was Penang 17 or even Bangkok 18 or something like that, right? So a guy I went to high school with, he sees me in the line, okay? And he's with his wife and kid, and I've got my 3 kids and their mom with me and stuff, okay? And he goes, oh, fucker, you're everywhere. I think I've talked about this briefly, but not this specific thing. Oh, fucker, you're everywhere, this, that. Meaning every time I open my phone, and Insta wasn't a big thing then, right? We're going back about 10 years or so, right? And this guy went to fucking grade school and high school with, okay? So I told him, yeah, I should be fucking everywhere. You don't want to fucking see it? Turn your fucking phone off. Fucking block me, right? Unfollow me and stuff. But what the fuck I told him? This is the airline. It's in the line to check in into an airline. And, you know, a few years later, a friend of mine, right, and I've distanced myself from him. He's a friend and a client and stuff. His wife is a fucking bitch. Seriously. I've tried for years so nice to be nice to her and stuff, but she has some serious problem with me. It's so fucking obvious. The guy doesn't. But the guy's an extremely smart guy. He went to a top American university and he started working with a fucking top American tech firm before he left way early in their journey and joined his family business and stuff. He's very, very well to do, very intelligent and stuff, but he follows the crowd. He's smart enough and good looking enough to be and wealthy enough to be a hero, but he's a herder. And you know, he said, every time I open my phone, I see you. I said, just close your fucking phone, right? Just stop fucking following me and stuff. And then, you know, there was an example. I went to high school with this woman who lives in the United Kingdom now. She's my age and stuff. She said, Roshan, I had to unfollow you because you keep popping up. This is all on Facebook. My sister said to me many years ago, Roshan, I've had to limit you or something because you keep, every time I open my Facebook, you pop up. A good friend of mine, a good friend and client of mine's wife said the same thing to me. She's like, I've unfollowed you on Instagram because every time you pop up, open my phone, you pop up. I mean, for me to hear this, these are great things, right? Okay. For them to tell me this stuff, nonsense, that they're unfollowing this, I couldn't give a rat's ass, okay? But going back to that encounter 10 years ago at the airport in a foreign Asian country, I said to myself in my mind, okay, that even if a person hates me, okay, even if you hate me, right, wherever the fuck you are in the world, and whoever the fuck you are, seriously, okay, if someone actually asks you, hey bro, hey ma'am, hey girl, hey friend, I want a tailor, can you recommend a good tailor? I should be the first fucking person that pops to your mind. I should be the first person that pops to your mind. Now, you may not recommend me, and you may hate the living fucking shit out of me, okay? You may not recommend me, and you may hate the living fucking shit out of me. But I should be the first tailor that everybody thinks of. And that's how. And I set myself that goal about a decade ago. Maybe it was a pipe dream, and like I've always told you, I don't go after specific things, right, that are in my head. And it's not like it stayed in my head, but it's something that I said to myself. And when I came back and I spoke from this vacation, I spoke to my team, I said, you know, even if a person hates me, this is 10 years ago, okay, even if a person hates me, no matter where they are in the world, no matter who the fuck they are, if somebody, their friend, relative asks them, hey, I need a tailor, can you recommend one? Whether they recommend me or not, I should pop into their head first. And I think I'm there. I really, really, really think I'm there. And I believe that. You've got to believe that. You have to believe in yourself. Do you know what I mean? What's the point of going out to the crease? Okay, I'm wearing an India jersey. What's the point of going out to the crease thinking that you're going to lose? You know what I mean? I've been in relationships with women, and they always say the same thing over and over. One of my bad points is that I'm super arrogant. I said, it's not arrogance. I mean, you can define it as you want. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it is arrogance and stuff. But I say the same thing. Djokovic doesn't go out on court thinking that he's going to lose to Nadal, right? He's got to believe he's going to win, right? If he doesn't believe he's going to win, then what the fuck is the point of him going out on court thinking that he's going to lose to Nadal? And it's the same thing when Liverpool play Real Madrid, and it's the same thing when Lando Norris gets on track and stuff. You know what I mean? When he was racing Verstappen and stuff. You know what I mean? They have to have a single-minded belief that they're going to win, right? So that's just how I am. I'm not. I don't know. You can call it whatever the fuck you want. You can call it arrogance. You can call it narcissism. I don't care. It doesn't matter. I have to achieve. I have bills to pay. I think you don't understand. Everyone says, what's my motivation? I said, you don't understand how much bills I have to pay. You know what I mean? I have to pay bills. Okay? So I got to do what I got to do. You understand this? And my DNA, you know, it goes against what my father likes, softly. bullshit. When he wants something fucked, he's a bulldozer. You know what I mean? He'll lie, he'll cheat, he'll whatever. And don't take cheat in the wrong way. You know what I mean? He'll do whatever he can to fucking get what he wants. Okay? He always tells me softly, softly, softly. This, he hampered my career till I had children. By the time I gave birth to my first child, I broke free of his shackles, and I was like, fuck this. You know what I mean? I'm going to do what I want to do because I want to be somebody. I don't want to be the watchman. I spoke to my sister the other day, and she lives in Africa, right? And she's like, Mom, still's not happy with you. She's not talking to you and stuff. And she totally I said, are you watching my podcast? She's like, you mean the Watchman's House? I was like, yeah. You mean like the Indian Watchman or something? She got it straight away. So she knew where the title came from. Okay? And she knows Roshan does everything that's right here in front of him. It's not premeditated. Whatever comes his way, whatever's happened just now, my dad just yelled at me. The mother of my children just yelled at me. It's gonna come out, right? You know what I mean? The Watchman's Hour and the actual Watchman's Hour podcast is born out of my dad's ridiculousness. The term is born out of ridiculousness, right? But it is what it is. And if you're Sindhi and you live in Hong Kong, you grew up in Hong Kong, you get it straight away and stuff. So anyways, about a decade ago, I said to myself that I should be the first Roshan in Google. Now, if all of you have another device, I would love for you to open up your browser and type in Roshan into your browser, okay, and see what it gives you. Now, 10 years ago, 9 years ago, 8 years ago, intermittently, not an everyday thing, please, I'm not a fucking psycho, okay? I type in Roshan into a browser, and it would always come up with Hrithik Roshan, okay? It would always come up with Hrithik Roshan, all right? Not even, I type in Roshan and come up with Hrithik Roshan. And here we are in 2025, and I want to know, have I achieved that? Am I the first Roshan in Google? If you type Roshan into your browser, I want to know that if I pop up. Now, if I type Roshan into any of my phone's browsers, one phone here, laptop here, it pops up as Roshan. And I think it's AI, because when I asked my team recently, a week or two ago, when we were having a meeting and stuff, they all type Roshan into their browser. Even my father typed Roshan into his browser, and he's not connected with us, right? And Roshan Nalwani popped up, okay? But I think that's because of the whole AI, Apple, Meta thing that's going on and stuff. I mean, you walk past someone on the street that you don't really know, and when you get to your desk and you open up Facebook, there's suddenly a friend suggestion. That always happens. So yeah, okay, so you guys are saying Hrithik Roshan still pops up, so I haven't been able to dethrone the guy. At least in strangers' browsers, but I should be the first Roshan in still Hrithik Roshan. I love you guys. I'm fucking loving you, TikTok. TikTok, you're on fire today. Stay good, TikTok. Stay good. Don't become dicks. You know what I mean? All the good people, stay good. Stay good and be part of the convo and like and share the live and get the other good people on. So I'm still not the first Roshan in Google. Yeah, right? So, no, my name is not Sam. My name is Roshan, obviously, right? And the name of the business is Sam Sealer. And, I don't like to talk backwards, but we started in 1957 by my granddad, but none of us are called Sam. Every week I get asked the same question. I would love a cut of this particular thing. Every week I get asked, where do I get my glasses? What are the sunglasses I'm wearing? I've got these ones as well, but I've got my Ant-Man ones as well, which I don't have today and stuff, but I get them. They're all regards and they're all one-on-ones. I'll talk about one-on-ones now. They're all regards and all one-on-ones, and I get them from @the new black optical. @the new black optical. So you just put that into Insta and you can reach out to them. Well, I don't think globally people know Hrithik Roshan as much as globally people would know Roshan Nalwani or Sam Taylor, right? Wouldn't you say that? That doesn't mean that he's got 1.4 billion people in India that know him. Hundreds of millions of Indians globally know him. So let's say at least 2 billion people know him, okay? But what I'm saying is, if you take a spread over, if you go to like every other white person in London and ask them, who's Hrithik Roshan? And they're like, no idea. Right? Do you know Roshan Sam Taylor, that Taylor guy, the young Chinese boy guy? Yes, we do, right? So in that sense, so I'm battling hard, right? Obviously not my gender and stuff, but these are the kind of fun things that I would like to happen to me, Do you get what I'm saying? These are the fun things that I would like to get happen to me. So if you've got a spare device now, or later when we finish a stream, please type Roshan into your browser and see who pops up. Am I number one? Am I number two? Am I non-existent? Take a screenshot, post it to stories, and tag me. I think that would be a really fun project. Okay, I would love it for you to do that. Repeat that again at the end of the stream. When you get off the stream right now, if you have another device, type in Roshan into your browser, see the pop-up list, see where I rank, screenshot, post it, and tag me on Insta. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely not more known to the Western world, but I'm definitely believe that I'm a Hong Kong icon, carrying the Hong Kong flag always, but the Hong Kong government don't give me enough respect. They did a lot before. And I don't know if I've dropped off their radar. I am anointed by them. I've done some amazing work with regards to social unrest for them and for COVID vaccination for them and campaigning for them for both the chief executive and district councillors, but I think they've forgotten about me. So I am someone that believes in evolution, okay? I am someone who believes in evolution. And one of the things that I wanted to retouch on and explain to you is, do you understand the magnitude of my giant signs all over London? The magnitude of me being the model, right? And I've talked about this a number of times. I don't have Tiger Woods. I don't have David Beckham. I can't pay them to be the model, all right? So the magnitude of being stopped every 30 meters or at the most every few minutes walking across the streets of London is so much, what is it called? It's so much, it's very validating, right? It's so much validation, okay? That the stuff that I'm putting out there, Daniel, you can just mute the spammers, right? The stuff that I'm putting out there is garnering true eyeballs, okay? And it's making people recognize me. And hence me going back to the first point, that even if you hate me, whoever you are in the world, right? And if you ask about a tailor, you will think of me first. But the magnitude of those signs, look at yourself, have you done that? Right? And I'm not shitting on you. I'm not saying that in a bad way and stuff, right? But you've got to understand that when you do these big things and there is payoff, it is something huge. It's something intangible and huge. And I told this to the mother of my kids, who got pissed about a reel that was published yesterday, okay? I'm like, Jesus Christ, I'm probably talking about when I was 21 years old, right? And I'm talking, about how I feel about women and stuff. I get some psychologist, friend of my wife, then texting me on Insta in reply to this reel. I'm like, do you understand that it's a cut reel? It's a promotional reel from a much larger stream. It's just so odd, you know what I mean? It's just so odd the way people take things. But of course, I've had tons of messages, saying, bro, I love you, bro, I love you, bro, I love you. But I'm not trying to be any Andrew Tate. I'm literally just here to talk about myself and for you guys to get to know me and stuff. One of the things that I touched on last week, I just want to say again, is that, at 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, when I'm up working, the amount of celebrities that text me for fashion advice alongside the amount of clients that text me for fashion advice, right? Should I wear this jacket with this shirt? It's obviously all my stuff that I've sent them, right? I mean, it is another form of massive validation. It's another form of massive validation. But I will tell you one thing about celebrities. Once you're their pet, or once you're their discovery, right? If there's another celebrity coming to Hong Kong that they know, right? So say I'm working with a top-end footballer, and another footballer that I've never worked with before is coming to Hong Kong. If I ask this footballer, could you help me get in touch with this guy? Could you tell him to come and see me? They said they won't. Celebrities are very protective over their pets, their secrets. Do you understand what I'm saying? Regular people are happy to recommend me as a tailor, but celebrities want to keep me to themselves. It's extremely interesting. But one of the great things that I find about my work is when my clients constantly reach out to me on what should I wear? Should I match this jacket with this shirt, this suit with this tie, etc., etc. I love it that they invest in me. I absolutely love it. And, it's a continuation of the truth that I've told them, that when I'm parting with them, that you can call me anytime, you can text me anytime. Of course, I have a work phone, right? It's not my personal phone. and ask me on matching and situations and should I wear this for this meeting and this ball and this function, this interview, and I'm happy to do that always. And I love it when they reach out to me. You know what I mean? It is so validating. It is so vindicating. It's just incredible. I want to touch on something that I did not write down, right? And I don't know if you're smart enough to realize this, okay? But don't over-realize or don't over-analyze. I'll ask a quick question. What am I doing in a transitional way right now? Can anyone answer me? What am I doing in a transitional way? Any answers? I'll ask it again. Come on, quickly. What is 3 streams going? And there's lots of you watching. What am I doing in a transitional way right now? Nobody? Nobody wants to say? Well, look, I have 3 children, okay? One is Reagan, okay? Do you know who Reagan is? Reagan is the devil. My daughter Serena is crazy, okay? And you hardly see her now, right? You have to scroll way back on Insta and Facebook to see her. We've talked about this many times. So listen, this girl just had her exams, her IGCSEs, and she got 6 A stars, 2 A's and a B, and she got a B for drama, and she was devastated and angry and upset. We told her to leave it be. She said, no, I want to appeal it, all right? And she wants to appeal it, and it's like, the appealing process is paperwork at $500 fee, this, that. You have the risk of the grade going down. She was insistent. I told her don't do it. I told her mother don't do it, but she appealed it, and her B in drama went to A. So she's gotten 9 A's out of 9 for IGCSE. So she's ended up with 9 A stars and 3 A's, and that is Cambridge material. That is Oxford material. All right, this girl is going to go to Cambridge or Oxford. I'm so proud of it. It's insane. Then you have Saria, who's very, very, very quiet, but a very, very, very good girl. Okay, and she's with me a lot and follows me around, does a lot of camera work, and I talked about her. And then there's Rian, who has shown the most interest in my business, right? Now, he's only 13 years old, and I'm telling you, and I've said this over and over again, I'm never going to ask my children, push my children, groom my children into joining this business. This business is a disaster. Seriously, the work is so hard. You know what I mean? Like, it's just so tough to make money. You have to work so ridiculously hard. All right, but I can't. If I suddenly die, or if they suddenly say that they want to join my business, then it's better that I allow them to be a part of it. Am I married to a Chinese girl, bro? I've spoken about this. I believe in vampire mentality, that my blood must be as pure as possible. Okay, so I am a Biban Sindhi. Okay, we'll go into caste as well, and I married a Biban Sindhi. And where did you get that I married a Chinese girl? Have you seen my children? Do they fucking look Chinese? Do they look half Chinese? Come on, answer my question, sure, please tell me. And that's it, you know what I mean? My mom and dad are separated, and my mom married a white as white guy, 10 years younger to her. My sister married a half black, I spoke about this last week, half black, half white guy, and the other sister married a white as white guy, okay? That hasn't happened to me. If I'm married, why do I talk about other girls? Alex said, which other girls have I talked about? Tell me, Alex, and stuff. And have I even talked about my wife to you? Huh. But Rian shows interest in the business. He spent a lot of time here with me, obviously. So he's been doing a lot of videos with clients. They're very clean. I publish them on my feeds. I publish them on, now I've just started his new Instagram account with his permission. I've asked him over and over again, not pushed him, but maybe once every 2 weeks for the last 2 or 3 months. Would you like your own Instagram account? And he's always said no, and then he finally said yes. So you can follow Rian Melwani on Instagram, at Rian Melwani, and you'll see it's really the boys coming out party. You see how he develops with each video. It is just quite amazing. So he's the only one who's shown interest in the business, so I've let him hang out in the business and work in the business, and that's basically it. But I've always told him, I was like, bro, you figure out what the fuck you want to do. You don't really have to join me and stuff. Don't think of this as this has to be part of your agenda. And that's pretty much Rihanna's video. Rihanna is so innocent in his videos, and there's much more of that to come out. He's just so innocent and stuff. You know, it's incredible the amount of Hong Kongers, right, that just constantly bitch about their own city. I don't understand. Tax here is a maximum of 17%. You can't. If you are Elon Musk, you will only pay 17% tax in Hong Kong. Do you understand that? People love coming to Hong Kong. The only place they love going to more is like Dubai or the other Arab countries where the tax is non-existent. Here, Hong Kong is like, you know, the Wild West in terms of super calm because communist rule, obviously, right? So there's no crime, there's no guns and stuff, right? But you can do anything you want, you know what I mean? And these Hong Kongers bitch about their own city. Well, the city is so beautiful, there's no crime, the city is gorgeous, the infrastructure is amazing, the train is amazing, the plumbing is amazing, public transport is brilliant, Ubers are fucking Mercedes, yeah, and stuff. But there's so many Hong Kongers, and they're not really Chinese, right? They look like me or they look like you and stuff, and I wouldn't say they're transient, they've been here for a while, and they shit on their own government. I don't understand. And then if you add the Chinese to the equation, then these are people that, you know, on different levels that are chasing the ghosts of 2019 and before, you know what I mean? They're like a fucking virus, these people. They can't look forward. So like the non-Chinese would be like, oh, it was so much better when there were more white people here and shit. And it was so much better when there were more white people coming here. And there's not enough white people fucking coming in and stuff. And these places used to be so much more busier before. Now, what have I done to my screen? Yeah, there we go. And so forth. They don't realize net migration is up. Okay, so that means there are actually more people here than before. But they're different people. They could be from mainland China, they can be from India, right? And stuff. And they're not necessarily, I've talked about this so many times, they're not necessarily living in the same white communities that people were before. And because of this, you know, the white shit on their city, whether they've been here 20 years, 40 years, 2 years, 7 years, 9 years, I don't even understand that. You know what I mean? Like, why are you shitting on a city which has no fucking crime, no fucking terrorism, right? And the tax rate is 17%. And stuff, you know what I mean? And then, you know, if you take the rest of the population, why are you chasing the ghosts of 2019 and before? The past isn't coming back, right? You got to focus on the future. And, you know, if your little white village is no longer full, right, you've got to realize that there's so many beautiful places the Hong Kong government has built. And if people from mainland China are arriving, they don't want to stay in your old white village. And if so many people from India are arriving, they don't want to stay in your old white village. Do you understand what I'm saying? These fucking people and their island mentality need to walk around and see that there's a different type of person here. And I've said this so many times, so many clients that I've walked out of the shop, up, you know, old clients, they say, has the city lost its soul? The city is different. I said, bro, how much older are we now? How much older are we fucking now, right? There's evolution everywhere. You know, when we started here, everybody was older than us and they were dictating things. Now we're so much older. People are so much younger than us and they're probably dictating things and stuff. So I don't understand why the fuck people would bitch out their own city. I mean, if I lived in Liverpool, I'd never fucking complain. If I lived in London, I wouldn't complain. If you complain, get the fuck out, right? If you're not happy, get the fuck out. I genuinely believe in power and prosperity. And, you know, I always say, you know what I mean? Like, these people are always complaining about the city and the government and stuff. And I was like, why are you so fucking negative? Why don't you go out there and have fun? Go out there and spend money. Go out there and get dressed the fuck up. You know what I mean? Dress up. Dressed up, dressed up, dressed up. I don't know how this leftist, wokist attitude has infected Hong Kong. I mean, the city itself has been built on grind, okay? We were built on grind. But now people are just shitting on the rich and not grinding and claiming that there's no hope. You know what I mean? I tell you an anecdote, okay? So, my wife has a cousin, and I believe this is what he did. So, maybe 10 years ago, 20 years ago, I don't know. So the guy took a loan from his father-in-law, okay? Very small loan. And he was a first-time home buyer. So I'm going to talk on, I'll try and, are most people here from the United States? Most people here from the United Kingdom? I don't know. I could talk in US dollars, I could talk in Hong Kong dollars. Let me talk in Hong Kong dollars just to make it easier, okay? Let's say the guy took the apartment was a new building and it was a shoebox. It was fucking tiny. Okay, it was really, really tiny. And so what happens is he goes to his father-in-law. This really upset his father and mother and his younger brother. But if his father wasn't going to bank on him, and if this guy needed to take care of his wife and kid, then he needed to do something. So he goes to his father-in-law, he takes a small loan. He's a first-time home buyer, and the bank matches that. Okay, so the bank will give you 50%. So say the property costs 2 million Hong Kong, it's about 250,000 US, very, very cheap for Hong Kong. Okay, cannot be that cheap, but let's say it's 2 million Hong Kong. He bought a shoebox, beautiful little shoebox. All right, and then he took half the money from his father-in-law for the loan. He took half the money from the bank, and he started to pay the mortgage. And I went over to his place. This is when his wife was on a fucking psycho. Now she's a fucking psycho bitch, seriously. And the kid is a weird kid, seriously a weird kid. You know what I mean? Like, my kids are stunners. You know what I mean? They so much live in the real world. They're popular, they're famous, they're gorgeous, they're beautiful, they're well-dressed, they're talented. You know, parents here in my community should look at my kids and understand, what the fuck direction are their kids. They've turned their kids into herders as well, or weirdos. Anyway, so I go to their shoebox for the prayers and stuff, and I was like, wow, this shoebox is tiny, but it's beautiful, and it's his own. And okay, so he's lucky because he got 50% from the bank, because Hong Kong is a great city, and he got 50% from his father-in-law for the down payment. So what this guy did is he continued to grind, and he was paying off his loans, and in the meantime, and paying off his father-in-law. And in the meantime, what he did was he did what Donald Trump has taught us, or all really great realtors in the United States or in the Western world has taught us. It's called flip. Okay, so he flipped, say, his 200 square foot apartment. I mean, what the fuck is 200 square foot? Could have even been 100 square foot, whatever it was. A couple of years later, into one double the size. So he flipped his 100 square foot into 200 square foot. He flipped it 200 square foot into a 400 square foot. Okay, and he did it by being smart, and he did it by settling. A lot of people in Hong Kong, for some reason, can't do this. They can't move out of their 1,000 square foot apartment that they're renting, or their 800 square foot apartment they're renting, or their 1,500 square foot apartment that they're renting. I have a friend, a long-time friend, and I told him, way before the pandemic, I was like, bro, you don't need to live in this size apartment and pay this kind of rent. You're paying 5,000 US a month rent to live in 2,000 square foot, this, that. Cut the size down, take a loan from the bank, buy your own fucking place. Why do you want to keep paying the bank? Why do you want to fucking keep paying the bank? You know what I mean? Grind. I always say, I've lectured to Hong Kong students before, and I've said, renting, I think renting is shit, but there's so many Americans, right? Really, really, really smart Americans that come on podcasts and say always rent, never buy, okay? But in Hong Kong, 100% you've got to buy, right? So that is my genuine belief. Really, 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 really genuine belief. I mean, buy small, all right? Live there, grind, flip. Continue to grind, flip. Continue to grind, flip. There are ways to get that. And that attitude was not born in Asia, it's born in the United States and adopted by Asia a long time ago, but it seems to have disappeared everywhere, right? Buy tiny, settle. Continue to grind, flip. Continue to grind, flip. Continue to grind, flip. That's historically what people have done globally when it comes to personal residences. You know what I mean? So this is what you got to do. I keep getting told so much shit that, oh, you're born rich, you're born rich, you're born rich. So because I'm born rich, I should not talk, right? Because I'm born rich, I should not exist. When I was born, we didn't own all these properties. Do you understand what I'm saying? When I was born, let me tell you this, we had one shop, okay? And me, my mom, and my two sisters, okay? And my dad, and my uncle, and his wife, my grandparents, and my uncle and my aunt, okay? So let me go through this again, all right? So look. I think it was my grandparents, so that's 2. My parents, 2. My uncle and aunt, 2. And my dad's uncle, 1. So there were 7 people living in an apartment, okay? And slowly I come along, and so they buy another apartment. They had to, okay? So when I was born, my grandparents went upstairs into apartment 1. But still in my apartment, I think my granduncle went into apartment 1. And then in the original apartment was still my parents plus me, and my aunt and uncle. So that's another two, okay? And then along came my first sister, and my wife was pregnant with another one, and we finally added the third apartment, okay? So for the longest time, we had the shop, okay? And then we had the two apartments, and we had a third apartment. For the longest time, we only had 4 properties, but it was a grind to get there. A grind by my grandfather, my father, my uncle, okay? And now we have 14, 7 of which I added when I joined the business, okay? So it is possible. It is possible. But this is a story going back the course of my life. This is a story going back over 50 years, okay? You know what I mean? You know, when I was born, I mean, we were not fucking spending money the way we are. My parents, my grandparents, my father, my grandfather, my uncle, they saved for the rainy day, and the rainy day came because of COVID, the bastards. Do you get what I'm saying? So, you're talking nonsense again. The left and the poor, the liberals and the woke, they talk nonsense. Let me say it again. The left and the poor, the liberals and the woke, they talk nonsense. And you can say to me, oh, I'm born with a silver spoon. I will tell you, I'm not born with a silver spoon. I'm not born with a golden spoon. I'm born with a fucking diamond-coated platinum spoon. That's the way I believe I was born. I had no car. I had no nothing, right? But I had this grind mentality that I inherited, that I saw from my dad, my uncle, my grandfather and stuff, okay? And we built up what we have. And we're by far, we are just middle class. Okay, but there's so much scathingness of below middle class on people in middle class and rich. I don't know why. Why are you angry at other people having more money than you? And when I encourage people to work harder, they say, no, it's impossible. What the fuck are you talking about? My father, uncle, grandfather, and me are living proof of it. You just gotta grind. You gotta fucking grind. You'll get there, right? I said this last week. I promise you, if you work hard, the universe, God, life, it will reward you. You've got to believe. You've got to believe, and you'll fucking believe. It's not my fucking problem. Stop shitting on the rich. Stop shitting on the middle class. Jesus. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I don't get it. I don't know if I want to shift topics so quickly, okay? But I'll talk to you about something else now, all right? I keep being banned, right, on every platform. And we discussed that last week, and I told you how many times I've been banned on Insta in just the last 6 months and stuff. But I want to say to you that the anxiety of the ban, is it fair on the creator? Tell me honestly. My YouTube account, 20 years, gone, okay? My Insta account, his TikTok account, 1.8 million followers, gone. My TikTok account, my Instagram account, 10,500 videos, my entire life, my entire family stuff, banned so many times, okay? I mean, the anxiety of the ban on creators like me, with, you know, who are just devoted to putting stuff out there, right? You know, my lifeblood is these accounts right now, right? My lifeblood is these accounts. I use them to advertise my business. I use them to advertise me. My devotion to constantly furnishing content, unique content, every single day on every platform. Every single day on every platform. You know what I mean? And then, you know, if you connect your accounts, especially on Meta, right? If one thing gets flagged, all your accounts go down. I mean, the anxiety with this stuff is huge because I'm putting my whole life into this every single day, right? I'm putting my whole life into this. I'm sharing my entire life with the world every single day using these platforms. And they just come and destroy your whole world, and you can't talk to them because they're all fucking bots. You understand what I mean? So the kind of shit that I've gone through in my recent career when it comes to social media, I just find it so fucking unfair. You know what I mean? These guys are just bastards to me. And that's where I need you, right? And everyone I've spoken to at Meta is like, it's probably because they're bastards who are reporting you, okay? But why are these fuckers reporting me? And why are these bots listening to it? It just doesn't make any fucking sense. You know what I mean? It just doesn't make any sense. I'll tell you one of the great things that I find is when I asked someone, how did you find me? This person could be my age, a little bit younger, generally older. They're like, oh, my child. Their child could be 12, their child could be 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, okay? My child said, hey, you're going to Hong Kong. Dad, you've got to go to the shop. Mum, you've got to go to the shop. And this has happened so many times over the last 3 years of post-pandemic, which is great, because parents generally will listen to their children's strong recommendations. So that's one of the things that really, really, really fucking make me happy, and it happens at least once a week, and it's happened at least once a week for all 3 years. You know, I'm really enjoying mixing things up again for you guys, for viewership. So like I said, Monday I had a 10 a.m. client. Tuesday I had a live stream consultation to Melbourne. Wednesday I had a 10 a.m. client. Thursday and Friday I had live stream presentations, both I believe to the United States. No, Thursday I had a live stream consultation to the United States, Burbank, California. And Friday I had a live stream presentation to Detroit. So, and then Saturday morning I had a client, you know what I mean? Which I'm making a fucking great suit for this guy. I mean, such a fucking great suit. Which brings me to the thing is that I do one-of-ones, okay? One of the reasons that I'm seeked out is that if you've seen the suits that I make, I mean, they are one-of-ones. You cannot get these suits anywhere, okay? They're so distinctive, and they literally are one-of-ones. They don't exist anywhere else on the planet. They are magnanimous in every ways, and I'm so super proud of them. I'm so super proud that people can come here and literally get one-of-ones. The suit is completely different. Look at that interior. Can you guys see that? How fucking remarkable it is, right? You just can't get this stuff anywhere. It doesn't exist, you know what I mean? Fuck NFTs. I mean, literally, look at that. Look at the pin that I built the guy. Fuck NFTs. Look at the gauntlet cuffs for the guy. Look at the buttons. What I've done with the large and small. I mean, fuck NFTs. My stuff truly is one-of-ones. And that is why people constantly seek me out. And this is why I will always be successful. And this is why you should watch my live stream presentations and my live stream consultations during the week. I was obviously doing it every day during the pandemic. Because you can see how I build the stuff that I one-on-ones and then how they turn out. Daniel, if you could mute the spammer, that would be great, and the disrespectful people. So yeah, I'm always going to be successful because there's nobody like me there in this industry doing this one-of-one stuff. And when I explain that to the client as well, I mean, they just swept off their feet. Nobody can compete, right? I'm in a league of my own, and that's pretty much it. I'm absolutely elite in a league of my own. I love the fact that I have so many different types of content. I do fun at Sam's when I'm fucking around with my father or playing an instrument with somebody, or some crazy client is doing a dance in the suit that I'm making. I have so much celebrity content, which I'm so proud of, both here in Hong Kong and on the road. I love showing you my dinners out. I haven't done that in a while because I have so much content right now. I love the commercials that I've been doing. There should be a couple of more coming out now. I think that's great that people would hire me to represent their brand and stuff. I used to do so much of Rian's cricket before, which garnered so many views and so many questions, especially from Americans and stuff. It was just brilliant. But, unfortunately, there's a new hate in this world, a new evil in this world this decade. And that hate, starting from 2020, emanates from the comments, okay? And young people, the first thing they say when they know a controversial video is going to go out, or a funny video is going to go out, or if they've watched a video and they find it controversial, they go straight to the comments. They need to hear what other people have to say. And they need to maybe respond to that, what other people have to say, or just respond to the video in a hateful way. So I don't understand where this has come from, okay? But it's a very viral, large disease, a very viral, large, tangible disease, okay? The comment section. And like I said, I have no idea where it's come from. I don't understand why people are not focusing on the content that creators are putting out. Okay? Not focusing on the news that an agency is putting out. Why they're not focusing on learning from the documentary people are putting out. But they're going to the content section and hating. Okay? This is a disease that emanated from the United States. And it's caught on globally. It's not as huge in Asia. But it's very predominant in Anglo-Saxon countries. Okay? And many people will say hating is so fun. I don't get it. I think it's disgusting. Right? And if you believe in a God, let's only focus on people who believe in God. Okay? Let's only focus on people who are religious. If you are a God-believing person, right, then you know what you're doing is wrong. Okay? You know the fact that what you're doing is wrong. All right? So I don't understand, why do people go on the contents? What the fuck has the comments got to do with the content? What the fuck has the comments got to do with the content? Doesn't make any sense. It has no, I have no idea. You know what I mean? You know, I've shared all my friends, and people close to me will say, but did you see how the comments reacted? It's like, what the fuck do I care about the comments reacted? I care about people buying suits. Do you know how many suits I sold today? Do you know how many suits I sold today? Right? Do you know how many suits I sold today? Do you know how many people came to see me and said, hey, Roshan, I love you, I want to buy a suit? Right? Do you understand what I'm saying? What has the comments got to do with the content? Okay? And the content is to get people to buy suits, right? And the content is to show me as an extremely transparent person. And the content is to show off my children to the world, because children should be celebrated. Okay? And so forth. The woke white West will tell you that, you know, children shouldn't be celebrated. You know what I mean? If you're celebrating your children in your social media and stuff, then you're doing something bad. You should be locked up. You're a fucking pedophile. I don't understand. What are you supposed to fucking put, like a leash around your kids, like a dog, and walk them around at arm's distance? You understand what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand the woke white West, right? You can't celebrate. I can't say, look at my gorgeous daughter, Saria. Oh my God, Saria, you are so fucking beautiful, Saria. You are so fucking gorgeous. I can't say that about my own daughter. I become some sort of fucking freak. Okay? I'm some sort of freak because I'm celebrating on video how beautiful my fucking daughter is. But the woke white West, right? The men in the woke white West, they'll go to strip clubs. They'll fuck whores. They'll put, you know, dollar bills and more. They'll get lap dances. And the women in the woke white West, they know their guys, or their guys, are going and doing this. They're going and being with whores. Okay? But I cannot in a video celebrate my fucking children. I cannot say, wow, my son, look at my son Rian, he's so fucking handsome, he's so fucking well dressed. Look at my daughter Saria, how beautiful she is. Look how much more comfortable she's becoming in the camera. Okay? Do you understand what I'm saying? This is why I find it ridiculous. This is why I'm unaffected, right? It's not like, oh, people say you have very thick skin. I have no thick skin. You are stupid. It's not me that I have thick skin. You are stupid. Okay? You are worried about the comments say. Okay, I'll tell you again. Okay, I'll give you two things. I get on my knees and I celebrate how handsome my Rian is, how well dressed he is. I get on my knees and I show the world. I show the world because I've got the channel, because I built the channels. I built the fucking channels to talk to the world. Okay, I built these fucking channels so the whole world can see and hear me, and I'm going to use the channel to show the world how gorgeous a daughter I have. Okay, but that's a bad thing. To the woke white West, they're like, no, you're selling your daughter. You're brown guy selling your daughter. You must be fucking Muslim and you're selling your daughter. They're like, how am I fucking selling my daughter, you fucking assholes? You woke white West motherfucking cunts. You have these homecoming parties, these debutante parties, where you're parading white girls around and stuff. You have your Miss Universe and your Miss World and all this shit that started there, right? You woke white West motherfuckers, go to whores, go to strip clubs. You woke white West bitches have boyfriends, husbands who go to whores, who go to strip clubs. Okay? Alright? And me, I'm the pedophile, I'm the freak, I'm on Epstein's list. I should be fucking locked up because I get on my knees and I use the channels that I built to show the world how beautiful and how much in love I am with my daughter Saria. Okay? And I get millions of fucking views. And you know what? If you go to the comments, you'll get hate. So, you know, people, my friends who I said I've shed, will say that, you know, this is kind of negativity your daughter's getting. I'm like, from who? From who? From poor people? From protesters, from socialists, from leftists, from white people. You understand what I'm saying? From Indians who want to jump on that bandwagon. Do I give a fuck? do I give a fuck, bro? I love my baby Saria. And when she's out with me and she's wearing a dress and she's wearing a fucking designer dress, which I worked hard to buy, because I'd rather put that money into my children than into booze and into gambling and to narcotics. And she's got a fucking designer handbag and designer shoes. I'm gonna fucking celebrate my fucking children on the channels that I built. And if that leads to the shutdown of my channels, I just post it elsewhere. I'll post it on Parler. Jesus. I'll post it on True Social. So don't give in to this disease. There is a new disease. It is a tsunami of hate. And it is born and emanates from the comment section. Focus on content and what it can do for you. Don't focus on comments. Because it's a dirty, hate-filled virus. Okay? You know, I was taught as a young person that when there's an election, okay, people go up to represent the country, the city, okay? And that whoever wins fairly, then the entire population will get behind the elected leader. And I still believe that. Okay? But in the West now, if you look at Western countries, and if you look at the two most Anglo-Saxon countries, which is the United States and the United Kingdom, and I have great respect for these countries. They're beautiful countries. I studied in the United States. I lived in the United and worked in the United Kingdom, and I've just visited the United Kingdom. It's a beautiful fucking place. And last summer I visited the United States. It's a beautiful fucking place. And my two biggest markets aside of Hong Kong are the United States and the United Kingdom. But I find something strange about Western countries and their population, okay? They are all against their leaders. So if one leader from one party won, the theory of elections, if we go back to the start of governments of Western countries, such as the United States, and we go back to the start of governments in Western countries, the United Kingdom. Okay, so this guy won. This party supposedly won. Now all the politicians and the entire population needs to get behind their leader. You've got to get behind Sir Winston Churchill, Benjamin Franklin, Thomas Jackson, Abraham Lincoln, Margaret Thatcher, etc., etc. But that doesn't happen anymore. Bro, people are so divided. They fucking hate their leaders. They fucking hate other people who voted for them. They're all the same. Like, I'm a fucking Indian living in Hong Kong, bro. I'm happy living in Hong Kong. I follow what the fuck the Chinese have to say. What's the big deal? You know what I mean? But these guys fucking hate their leaders. And they fucking hate each other. They fucking hate each other if they're from different political parties. The solution, as easy as it is, okay, is whoever is in power, everybody needs to get behind that guy in power. And you give that guy 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, whatever his stint is, and then, but you have to support. Why are these Western countries constantly undermining their leaders that they put in power through fair elections? Okay? It doesn't make any sense to me, bro. And if you tell me that I live in communist China and there's something wrong with that, fuck you. You must be fucking kidding. I don't have to understand half the questions you guys ask or the statements and stuff. Try this for once. Get behind your leaders, give them a shot, and let's see what they can do for you. Honestly, it's just much better. I mean, look at these strikes in France. The media says it's 800,000 people protested. Okay, say it's half of that, 400,000 people protested. 400,000 teachers, train operators, healthcare workers protested. They didn't go to work. Kids couldn't go to school. Trains weren't running. Okay? I don't get it. Like, why wouldn't they go to work? They would have earned a dime. But they chose not to earn a dime, and they chose to fuck up their own country, these French. They chose to fuck up their own country for a day. They say 800,000, we call it 400,000. 400,000 people decide not to work that day? and go and fuck up their own country? Bro, I'd rather live in communist China. Seriously. I'm cool, I'm happy, my father's happy, my kids are happy, my staff are happy, there's no fucking protests, everyone comes to work. Then live in a country which you call a democracy, and I love France. I'm going there next. Jesus. I think Macron is amazing. I think he's a fucking genius. I think France is the most beautiful country. Why are fucking 400,000 you will stop work one day to fuck up your own country? It doesn't make fucking sense. How can you say you're a patriot if you don't go to work, you don't educate children, you don't let people travel on the trains, and you go and fuck up your own city, and you fuck up your own government, and you say you're a true French person? I don't get these Western countries. You know what I mean? I can't understand why democracy is so highly rated. You know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense to me. You're not winning any friends here. You're not winning any friends here. And you're not winning me. I have a massive shadow ban on all my platforms. Each time I come back from a ban, from say one of my platforms, I've hemorrhaged followers, right? Hemorrhaged 20,000, 30,000 followers on Insta. When I came back from one ban on TikTok, my 1.8 went to 1.7 million, literally 100,000 wiped. When I came back again from that, it went to 1.6 million. I've been wiped since, okay? Banned since. Every time I come back from a ban, there's a massive shadow ban that hangs over me on both Instagram and TikTok, where my videos are just not being delivered, okay, to the people that have signed up for me, meaning my followers. So if I have 500,000 followers on Instagram, I'm not getting 500,000 views, I'm not getting 250,000 views, I'm not getting 125,000 views, and I'm not getting 60,000 views, okay? And on my new Instagram, which is 76,000 followers, which is my 10th Instagram, TikTok I mean, I have like 100 views, 200 views, 1,000 views, 2,000 views, it's garbage, okay? And stuff. So not only have I survived the ban, not only have they apologized that the AI got it wrong, okay? Daniel, can you help me with this asshole Chris Poet, please? I appreciate it, right? They don't deliver my videos to the people who have signed up for my content. So what I will say to you is that if you want to see my videos, you've got to subscribe to my channels, not wait for it to show up on my FYP, on your FYPs, and set up your notifications, because I provide genius, hilarious, insightful videos every day. If there's anything you should do, is that you should turn on my channel every day, I promise you. Okay, you can turn it back off, but at least give me a chance. At least give me a chance, because I'm being punished completely by these guys. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, one thing I will say on the flip side for my followers, right? There's so much you could do to help me. There's so much you could do to help, like, any of your heroes, any of the guys any of the content creators that you enjoy, but you just don't. Now, content, like, I don't earn money in China. So, like, in the United States and the United Kingdom, people specifically are content creators. You won't find that in Asia because they don't pay. Meta doesn't pay, okay? So, but one of the things that you could do to support me, to support your content creators, right, all the followers, is one, comment, like, forward the video to everyone. You can even repost now on Insta like you could on TikTok and share to your stories. That is the way you can support your content creator. Now, your content creator is giving up time, heart, blood, money, okay? Brain rest, taking on anxiety to create content for you and stuff. Support them. If you are watching them religiously, right, then support them. But you know what? I have friends, I have acquaintances, I know people who watch me religiously, okay? They will never forward my content to everyone. They will never celebrate my successes. They will never congratulate me on my success. I don't need them that shit anyways, right? They will never share my videos. They'll never post them to their stories or repost them. But they could hate in the comments. I don't know. But they will watch me every single day. They will watch me every single day. When I post stuff about Rian, when I post stuff about Saria, whoever's their friend's mother that talks to their mother will always say, oh, was that shave Rian had, was in London a fake? It was a fake shave, right? It was a fake shave. So I know everybody's watching. Okay? But they'll never praise, they'll never do anything nice, they'll never promote. You know what I'm saying? I don't get it. And that's why I'm much happier living in this bubble world. Because if the real world is about hate, if the real world is about protest, if the real world is about the poor hating the middle class and the rich, if the real world is about welfare and not grinding and handouts and anti-austerity, right? Then I must live in my bubble, okay? Because that's the way I was trained to live. You know what I mean? To work hard, to appreciate, to pray to God, to thank God, to take care of blood, to give to humanity, and to progress. Okay? Not even digress and not to stand still, but to progress. Okay? So if that's not reality, right? And that's the matrix, and that's the matrix I want to live in. I don't want to live in your hate-filled, packaged hate, tsunami of hate, leftist, wokist, welfare-wanting, protesting, middle-class and rich-hating fucking world. Okay? All right? If that's reality, I'm happy here with a great value set. A great value set that, you know, the old Bible, the original Quran, the Bhagavad Gita teaches. Okay? You know what I mean? Work hard, get somewhere, pray, be peaceful. Okay? If that's a bubble, I'll live in that bubble. What's with the continuous Epstein questions? I don't know if the man ever came to my shop. I have no idea. I have no photo on the wall with him. But if he ever did, if he ever did, I would be so happy if he was wearing my suit. I don't know what he did. I don't care. All I know is that he's vilified by the left everywhere. So that kind of stuff doesn't really hold with me. I don't know what he did. I don't know the Epstein story. I keep being asked if I know this guy, if I've been to his island, did he buy him suits? I really don't know. I've asked these questions all the time. But considering he's so supposedly famous or infamous, then I am happy. If he was one of my clients, I'd be happy. I don't give a shit. If I had a photo with him on my wall, I wouldn't take it down. Fucking my father made me take down my Kevin Spacey photo. I worked with Kevin Spacey after he won 2 Oscars. I made him 7 suits. We did great, this, that. But when that Me Too shit came along, my dad wiped the photo down. I don't even know it's on my website anymore. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm not into that shit. Kevin Spacey's my fucking hero. He's 2-time winning Oscar. Listen, this guy, number one, was Kaiser Soze, right? In The Usual Suspects. Incredible. Best supporting actor, okay? Then he was the guy in American Beauty. Fucking incredible movie. Jesus. Okay? Then he was the whatever guy, the whip, then the VP, then the president in House of Cards. Absolutely fucking brilliant. Okay? And he chose me, he reached out to me, he called me. I've told my Kevin Spacey story so many times, and my dad made me take the photo down. And that sucks. But when it comes to Epstein, I don't know the guy. I don't know what he did. I don't know if I ever worked with him. And there is no photo on the wall with me of him. Okay, and I've been honest with you about Kevin Spacey, telling you that I would much prefer having my Kevin Spacey photo on the wall than my dad feeling it was bad to have him on the wall. You know what I mean? He was great to me and he was a great client. So if you want to keep asking the Epstein questions, I don't know the answer, guys. You know what I mean? I do not ever recall working with a guy, don't know the guy, don't even know what the guy did. You know, let me talk about my videos, right? I only consider a winning video a video that gets 1 million views. Anything less is not a winning video. Only 1 million views plus is a success. It's silly because the client who begs for the video, right, finally agrees for the video when I've explained the reality of after the video, right? They don't even support the video. They don't accept an invitation to collaborate. They don't forward the video to their friends or everybody else to help it get viral. They don't share the video on their stories. They don't reply to the comments. If they just did this, the video would jump up, but they beg for the video. It doesn't make any sense. And me personally, after all these years posting content and with so many 1 million views, 2 million views, 3 million, 4 million, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15, 20 million views videos, right? Over 200 videos easily that have gotten 1 million views or more. Only a million views are a success. People line up and beg for a video. There was a guy yesterday from Chicago, and he's about 26 years old, begged for it. I really went hard at him. There's a guy, 41, from New York, really begged for a video. He bought 8 suits from me. Really wanted it. I went all out on him. But they won't help promote the video. You know what I mean? I don't get it. And I'm going to just reiterate, since my son is the only one so far interested in my business, I'm going to ask you to all jump on his Instagram account at Rian Melwani and see how he's doing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm telling you, the kind of stuff he's putting out is hilarious. I mean, the kid is a comedic genius at his age. It's wild that he's so funny. It's wild that he's a comedic genius at his age. So I'd give him a go at Rian Melwani. Aman, I was just talking about you. Is that you there, brother? Ha! When did you jump on? How long have you been watching me? Okay? Did a great video with this kid, Aman, yesterday. Give Rian a boost. Go check him out. See how funny he is at Rian Melwani on Instagram. People, for some reason, still don't understand that I have made my living in a variety of ways over the years, but I am the original virtual tailor. Skype, which I don't know if any of you know what it is, came out in 2003, and I jumped on Skype, and I've been doing video calls with my clients since 2004. So we set up on the laptop, I have fabrics here, someone making notes, I bring the fabrics like that to the screen, etc., etc. FaceTime came out in 2010. I've been using, 2011, the year after, I've been doing FaceTime on telephones with clients, okay? Making suits for them. This is people that I've never met, people that send me their measurements to the measurement chart on my website. And once WhatsApp video came out, 2016, since 2017, that liberated the whole world. Because not everybody had an iPhone, right? But everybody could be in touch by WhatsApp. So you don't need to come to Hong Kong. I've said this over and over. I don't understand. I show to you guys every day that I work with clients from around the world every day who I've never met, who have never visited Hong Kong. Send me your measurements through the measurement chart on my website, and then I will make you something amazing. I've proven that day after day after day, going back to 2019. Okay? Been broadcasting this stuff for six years every single day. Take a punt. Believe in me. I always make people happy. You don't need to come to Hong Kong. Send me your measurements through the measurement chart on my website. Send me my payment, and then I will make you something fucking amazing. I'm gonna finish on this topic. No, I'm gonna ask one question to you. Think about this. Leave it in the comment section of Insta when I post this video, okay? Am I famous or am I infamous? Is one of them a good thing? Is one of them a bad thing? Are both of them good? Are both of them bad? Are both of them good at the same time as well as bad? Am I neither? But am I famous or am I infamous? Okay? I'm telling you a very quick story. So, when I was at school, right? The white teachers, and they were all white teachers, favored the white kids, and that was obvious. And it was okay. We lived in British Hong Kong. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck, right? And a lot of the Chinese girls would only hang out with Chinese girls, not really Chinese guys. And a lot of I give credit to the Indian girls, okay? Because out of all the Indian girls, only the whole time I was in high school, only one of them whored themselves out to the whites, okay? All the Indian girls stayed to themselves, hung out with Indian boys in our school and other schools and stuff, and never hoard themselves out. But there's one Indian girl who did. There's any of the Chinese or Korean girls, and we're talking about single digits here, who wanted to be with the whites, would whore themselves out. Okay? I never met a conservative white girl when I was in school. I never met a shy white girl when I was in school. It was really, really odd and stuff. But it was a really good learning experience and stuff. But I said to myself that I can't get anywhere in the school system because only the whites will be made prefects, only the whites will be made head of house, only the whites will be made head of sport. And that's basically it. So I said, I can't win here. It's better to be the bad boy. Okay? It's better to be bad. The bad boy's not the bully, but the bad boy's the guy who fights people back, who fights back the whites and stuff, right? And I never got any support from the Indians. I never got any support from the Chinese. Okay? If I was bullied or I bullied back on their behalf or whatever. It's too much to talk about, you know what I mean? All those years of high school so many years ago. All right? But I chose to be infamous. Okay? When it was our senior year school production and stuff, and we decided to do Aladdin, and when it came to Jafar, all the whites and the hoard out colored people to the whites said in unison, so who's going to be Jafar? And everybody said Roshan. It was crazy. Okay, I was happy to play the villain, and that's what I did throughout my schooling. I played the villain. I was like, look, if I can't be recognized as a hero on my merits, right, then it's better to be the villain. All right. So I ask you today, am I famous? Am I not famous? Am I infamous? Am I not infamous? Am I both? If I'm infamous, is that a bad thing? But that's a question for you guys. Okay? That's a question for you guys. And my last note is something I touched on last week, but I won't get into real details. Everyone always asks me about my diet, but they can't accept the truth. They don't want to hear the story. They say, what do you eat? This, that. I start to try to teach them out of the goodness of my heart. They don't listen. Everybody can't accept the truth. If you want to diet, if you want to lose weight, if you want to be lean, if you want your veins to show, right, you have to be in calorie deficit. Okay? I said this last week. It's really fucking simple. Just eat clean, eat protein and vegetables. Okay? But nobody wants to hear it. They want this quick fix, which doesn't exist. Now listen, if you want to get lean, first of all, right? If you want single-digit body fat virtually every single day like me, okay? First of all, for 4 to 5 days a week out of 7, your diet has to be pristine, okay? So say, before workout, 3 eggs. After workout, halibut cooked with 1 gram of butter. Lunchtime, 300 grams of halibut. Lunchtime, 300 grams of prawns, just steamed. Dinner time, 300 grams of scallops, just steamed. Maybe some broccoli. You're gonna do that 4 to 5 days a week. And you do what the fuck you want on the weekends. Otherwise you'll go insane. Your pristine will then become clean 4 to 5 days a week. Okay? But you'll notice a lot of changes, but you can't maintain that mentally for that long. So your pristine will become clean. Sometimes you'll have a rice. Sometimes you'll have some sauces. Sometimes you'll have a pasta. But that will be once in a blue moon. Then it'll become intermittent clean, where 1 or 2 days a week, you'll be doing that. Okay? And then you fall. All right? And you, all dirt. Then your diet is dirt because that's life, because we're not all pro bodybuilders. All right? When you fall off, you just have to reset and climb back to pristine. All right? I'm done. I won't go yet. I'm going to piss. And I'll be back with some questions. And if they're good questions, I'll stay. And if they're no good questions, I'm gone. Hang on a second. Mira, Tarzan, go and answer some questions. I can't leave them blank. Go and sit there, one of you. I have to piss. Help me now. Why are you like that, guys? Go and sit there.
Thank you, bro. Hi, Daniel. I'm not a tailor. I'm a designer. Sidhu Moosewala, yeah, bro. Thank you, bro. Thank you, Daniel. Yeah, Roshan is the best guy to work with. I'm from Hong Kong. No, I'm Punjabi. I'm not South Indian. I'm North Indian, Punjabi, Sikh. Nothing, it's natural. No need to use anything, it's natural. Just turn it like this, it changes. Do you have a sword? Yeah, my name is Tarzan. Yeah, my boss is back now. You can talk to him.
What did they talk to you about?
Yes, already questions.
All right, I'm back. So I finished talking about what I want to talk about today, and if you have decent questions, then I'm with you. So go for it. Is there anybody still watching on YouTube? You can do a roll call for me if you want. I'm not a vegetarian, no. Is that really a question? So there's lots of you watching. Sam Seal's famous Roshan is infamous. I would agree with that. Yes, the man's name is Tarzan. Yes, the person I sent over is a beast. I recommend eating organic. Yeah, 100%. Still watching. Are you a fan of basketball? No, I'm not. I'm only a fan of Kobe, who's now dead, and I'm a fan of LeBron, who doesn't seem he can be win. Well, I was holding my piss. I've been speaking for 82 minutes now, right? My parents are not tall. I think my mom is 5'2" and my dad is 5'10", and I'm 6'4". I don't do favorites. Hargreaves Jones. Old. I'm fucking old. Do I support watermelon? I don't even know what that fucking means. I like eating watermelon. My watch is a lot of money. Completely iced. Can you see? I'm 6'4". I wouldn't expect these to be the questions after everything I talked about today. I weigh 77 kg. I don't stand with anybody, bro. I stand with myself. I don't know why Hamas just don't give back the hostages. What most recent video did I do that did not sit well with you? Tell me. I have no idea what the fuck that means. My horse is still injured, right? Let him come back. I've been married a very long time. Alexis, I'm a bespoke suit maker. I don't sell suit brands. I don't do favorites, but, you know, of course, working with the superstars are great memories. You're asking me what sport uniform this is. Are you kidding me? I mean, you can't tell me what sport this is? Are you kidding me? My favorite ice cream is Biscoff. Bro, I don't speak your language. White Brits, no other Europeans. Long time ago, I have no resentment. Gravenbeck is king. The watch brand is called Voila, Voila. He's maimed in his front and his back leg. I don't like to talk about negative stuff, guys. You know what I'm saying? I'm from Hong Kong. How did I become so successful? Just grind. Favorite Liverpool player is Steven Gerrard. Second favorite Liverpool player is Jamie Carragher. Probably they're equal favorites. Matt Sips, are you in Hong Kong right now? Hong Kong is a small city. Believe me, you'll find me. Client pays me. If they want to go live, we do. If they want to go video in the office, we do. That's not live. They want to just do it over text and email. We can do that. We can do anything you want, Christian Benanti. Anything you want. All you got to do is pay with this for the suit. The consultation comes with it. And you don't have to consult with me. You can consult with any one of your team. Consult with Tarzan, Lovejeet, Mira, Seetal, Josephine, Deep, Jay, whoever you want. I'm not giving shout outs here. You can buy shout outs on my Instagram. You don't need to be 18 years old to purchase a suit. You can buy a suit at any age. Doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, like, how many kids am I making suits for? School uniforms, suits for prom and graduation. What is this thing about the age of suits? I'm not wearing a cycling jersey. I appreciate you, Ton Ronkin. Send me the 1,000 sterling, Morpheus, and we can work. The videos are part of the service, but the videos belong to me, not to you. If we shoot it, it's mine. Robert, I appreciate you following my son. Yeah, my son is at Rian Melwani. Yeah, we've got tons of Plenty of Consent merch. Just email them. Email plentyofconsent.com and you can purchase the merch directly from them. My son is only 13 years old. I prefer sparkling water. That doesn't mean I don't drink tap water. Alert today, alive tomorrow. You've got to pay me to purchase a suit and then we can talk. Christian Benanti, I appreciate your love, very much so. My son is funnier than me. Great, I'm happy. It's a Wallah watch. I've said this about 65 times. Sam Sailor is banned by YouTube. You've got to follow me on Roshan Mawani now. Suit is 1,000 sterling. My son's account is Rian Melwani. Not at the tailor shop, guys. I'm not selling merch out of my atelier. I'm making suits here. You email plentyofconsent.com. Just said it, right? If there was other options, I would say other options. Look, I appreciate all your love. I have over 300 young Chinese boy videos that I can unleash at any time. I'm not mad at anybody right now. My suits are always amazing. They're one-of-ones. They're incredible. I don't do favorites. I don't have a favorite anything. Okay, so I'm going to shut down Insta first because it's the least amount of questions coming from Insta, even though there are a lot of people watching, and it's a lot of nonsense questions. But I'm glad Jeff Lutz is watching because I just made him 8 brilliant suits, and he is amazing. I have not unuploaded videos. I mean, there's nobody who speaks as crisper than me, okay? I have over 300 young Chinese boy videos that I haven't published yet. My greatest source of inspiration currently now is myself. You know what I mean? I've surpassed my father. Ton Ronkin, I'm not going to tell you how to convert that into US dollars. That's the most ridiculous question I've ever heard. Matt Sibbs, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining me. My A-level results are irrelevant. I have a dual degree from NYU, finance and economics, and I did it in 3 years. Okay, so we talk about what's my latest thing. If I went on to do a master's, that would be irrelevant as well. You're in Hong Kong and you don't know where I am? You don't need me to tell you my fucking address. You can ask Google, right? Bro, I mean, honestly, Ryan, you've been watching for a long time, absorbing and enjoying for a long time. Why don't you pull the trigger and purchase a suit from me? And I guarantee if you do that right now, I'll get art to design it for you. If you're such a big fan of art. Dual bachelor. Google doesn't show you the translation in currencies. You're talking nonsense. Here we go with the nonsense. Okay. When the nonsense comes, I'm going. You want me to come to KL? You make it happen for me. 2 business class tickets, 5-star hotel suite accommodation. Going to say bye to Insta first. If you want to stay, you can jump onto YouTube or TikTok. Jesus. Nonsense questions again. Just pay me now, Lovestro. Send me your measurements from the measuring chart on my website. Then I'll make you something amazing. I'm live tomorrow morning with a client in the United States. I don't do favorites.